Welcome to a brand new episode of The Creators Outlet with our special guest tonight, Mr. Adam Lawson. There you
Yes,
go.
thank you.
Some of
Thank
my
you.
DJ
Yes.
voice for you.
I like the DJ voice, though. I like the DJ voice. I mean, I don't look as good as Cardi B, but I get it. I like the DJ voice.
So let's start by talking about the book.
Yeah.
Where
Start
did
out.
where did this idea come from?
Yeah, so this is the book, the Kill Journal, and it's 100% done. You can see it's got a cool foil wrap cover. I love, and it's going to be. They will also all be signed and numbered. And so when the campaign ends, we'll close it down and lock that number as the official run on this, and it will go to mainstream publication too later on next year. So you'll get it first because these are going to ship out right after the campaign closes. But the Kill Journal is the story of what happens after the horror movie ends. After that one survivor is left covered in mud and blood, and all their friends are dead, and their family's been wiped out, and they have to pick the pieces of their broken life back up. And they end up finding themselves on the steps of St. George's Church right here. And he offers them an answer, a solution for how do they rebuild a life? How do they deal with this trauma, which is revenge? This mad preacher feels inspired by God to hunt these revenants or slashers, as are sometimes called, vengeful spirits back from the dead, hungry for revenge. And so is to go and to hunt these things down. So at the core of our story, we have a story about trauma survivors and how they're trying to put their lives back together while hunting the things that destroyed their lives. So it's a really, it's an action horror story, but packed full of great character, story, and theme. And one of the themes we're always asking in this is, are you a victim or a survivor, right? And that's what these people are trying to become, is to figure out what they are. Will they just succumb to being a victim and collapse, or will they rise up and be a survivor? So this is a standalone one shot, and it's 28 pages. It's rad. It deals with this character here on the cover, Finch, who is a boy who grew up on the Texas-Mexico border. His dad ran the dog fighting pits, and one day a dog didn't show, and his dad threw him in the pit. And years later, of tearing pit bulls' throats out with his teeth, he's become quite a ferocious little animal himself. And a revenant comes through one of these fights one night, slaughters his dad and everyone else. And so he finds himself wandering through the alleys like any stray dog, and he ends up on St. George's steps. And St. George has just also recently lost his son to a revenant, and he's lost his faith, and he's trying to find meaning. And he has this awakening moment and feels like hunting these revenants is what he must do. And then Finch shows up. So this is the beginnings of what becomes what if anybody who saw the campaign from before the Kill Journal, this full story, this is like kind of the beginnings of where it started, but it's standalone. You don't need to have read this, though you can back this. It's on the campaign. It's only $15. 132 pages. It's awesome. But this story then is really about a boy who lost his dad and a dad who lost his son, teaming up to go hunt Mr. Crispy, who is this revenant who began as a war vet sleeping on the street, and then some punks lit him on fire, and he's come back, leaving charred bodies in his wake. And so Finch and St. George are going to hunt him down. But killing a revenant, right, isn't like killing a person, because if you do it wrong, you don't follow the rules, they just simply come back for the sequel. So you have to learn their origin, right, discover who they are, and then build a specific trap, call it a ritual, if you will, to then take them down, right, so that they stay dead. This is that moment where Finch shows up on St. George's step if scavenging in the alley. So that's part of the detective sort of gumshoe nature of it, is how can they find out the origin of this revenant? One, before the revenant kills them, and two, can it work? Did they do it right? And I love that feeling of you're fighting something you can't really take in a direct fight. You can't just shoot him and walk away. You have to have done this other work so that you're fighting a force that's stronger than you. And I love that sense of desperation that comes from that in these characters. But so that's what is the Kill Journal in the long-winded explanation. Maxie Dallow is my artist, who Jack Irons, the silhouette from the Lost Pages series, and Mike Spicer is my colorist, who's awesome, who did Wonder Woman, Dead Earth, and also Murder Falcon. He's one of my favorites.
Oh, awesome.
And then the original book was done by Jason Krager and Steve Cannon. I love this image here.
Yeah.
It's such a rad story, but you can see it's a slightly different art style. But in this book, there was, at the end of each chapter, there was a little dossier, which gave a little bit of the origin of each of the characters, a little 6-page mini story.
Oh, nice.
And that essentially is the opening to this book, right? So it's standalone. I've included these pages in this just so if you haven't touched this, you can smooth sail into it. But this is, the Kill Journal. Obviously it's both a world that's both violent and vulnerable, right? It deals with these intimate struggles of these people because all their weaknesses come out, and also obviously the crazy fight for hunting revenants.
Yeah, I kind of feel bad for the vet that got set on fire by the punks,
right?
And you feel bad for him, but you can't let him, pass it on to his customers, shall we say?
Yes, right. I think that's what makes it a cool story, is that you're right. Like this guy actually started as a victim. He wasn't the villain, but he became one. And so I like that part of it. And sometimes these survivors might have even been part of the reason that a certain revenant came to be, right? And so there is a lot of moral complexity to it, right? And, you're taking out this, that's right. You can't let them do what they're doing, but it's not so clean and simple as, oh, they're a Nazi. There's something more to it.
Yeah, you can't just go in and hack and slash and take them out. You have to do your homework on what they are now and how they came to be, so you can actually make your rituals so it will actually take care of the problem and not create a bigger problem when the ritual doesn't work and it comes after you.
That's right. That is right, and it comes for you. There's these in the back of the original trade. We have this, have you chosen? They won't stop, right? This, even at the end of this big long journey here, the revenants don't ever stop until you choose to make a stand. Is kind of the sentiment with it, right? Which is kind of very much what life is like, right? You either make a stand or it just keeps kicking you down.
Yeah,
right? It won't stop. You have to make it.
Never
stop.
does.
No, right? As you know, I'm sure better than most. But yeah, this I love what this world is and what this story is. I'm somebody, I really enjoy horror stories and comics. I think they're really fun, and I think I'm less a superheroes guy personally. Not that there's anything wrong with them. They just are maybe a little less exciting to me in stories, and I love dealing with the characters and the struggles that are a little bit more on the horror side, and also deal with people being pushed to extremes.
Yeah,
I love these insides of the back covers, the flipping of it to black and white, right? So you get this here, the reverse of that, and then you get this, the black and white here, the reverse of there.
Yeah, that's very cool.
Um,
Just looking at the cover, I'm like, ooh, it's a 90s comic.
that's right. That's right. It has that feeling. Certainly, it is not I don't think in any of my work, it's not I don't know. I'm not somebody who seeks to solve modern social problems in fiction. I've directed well over 100 episodes of TV and have kept it that way too. So I kind of like things that have an element of fantasy, so that you don't kind of get bogged down in sort of like modern social problems, or like some sort, because it gets so easy, even worse now than it's ever been.
Yeah.
And instead, like, how can we make something that deals with themes and moral struggles that are really universal and will always exist with humans, but put them in a setting that is hyper real, so you can focus on those themes instead of getting bogged down in sort of like the modern nuances and like online fights.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this is a campaign. It's also this is going to be a limited edition version of it, so it'll be a great collector's item as well too, because I think there's something to that, right? Like when you back something, you hope you're getting something no one else will get, right?
Yeah,
you came to the table
something
first.
different if it goes to, if it goes to shops afterwards, that you've
Yep.
got like the exclusive, basically like a first print run, special covers and everything else.
Yeah, you have something extra special. With my other book, The Exiled, I did it with Wesley Snipes, and that book it's in retail shops, and it's done super well. We moved maybe more than 100,000 copies, but I feel bad because the artist got so behind. We haven't been able to get it to backers, but the backers book is going to be oversized, and it has secret codes in it that gives you free digital collectibles, and like we tried to make it something as special so that you feel like, man, I came in early and I waited and I got something for that. And so and with this, fortunately, there will be no wait because the book's all done. Just as soon as this ends, I just put the print run in, and away we go.
And ship them all out. But I mean, I was looking through the campaign earlier, and I was just like, this just looks awesome.
Thank you, brother.
So the new one shot, the complete Finch Dossier.
Yep.
Both sides of the cover, which doesn't show it in all its glory like we just saw on camera, but is $20, limited to 500. So there's still plenty of copies left for people to get in there.
And then the way to get this, the way to do this is if you want both, you just add this on. I also have it available because some people just said, hey, I just want the original. I don't want to go with the standalone. And then you can just get that there. You can just walk away with just this. This is at a special price because it retails at $25, but here it's just $15.
Yeah, I'm like that's a huge grab. I'm surprised there's not 1,500 of these claimed already instead of just 15 at the price point.
Right. Well, the thing is most backers have added them on to their other order.
Oh yeah.
More than half of those backers have added it on. And so this print run is already done on these. And so now, and this cover wasn't available during that campaign. That was a leather cover, that one. But so this is a cool new cover. It's all fresh. But yeah, so those are just the two tiers. And then you can also add on this rad patch.
Yes, I saw the patch, and I was thinking, you're a patch guy? Because I know a streamer that's a patch girl.
Shay, Shay.
Yeah, I saw the pictures that she cosplayed as on Twitter.
Oh, cool.
And I was like, look, Shay, you look terrible. I told you not to let side drive anymore.
I think that said it right. And that's kind of, and that's what this is, here. There's Gifted Rebels, which is my publishing arm, which did the Kill Journal and an imprint on The Exiled and my book, Kids and Monsters. And then there's something else cool as well, too. There's two cool things to show. It's the patch, but inside this book, there is actually a secret code hidden in the book. And normally when you say, hey, well, there's a secret code hidden in the book, and you won't be able to see it now, per se. But there are some pages that have them, and I don't want to give them away, but I'm just going to sneak them at you. Pieces of this secret code. And then there's going to be a website. I've partnered with a company called GasPack, and they do NFTs or digital collectibles. And there's going to actually be, a blockchain-backed image for those who solve the secret code and go to their website. You can download it. It'll be yours. It'll actually also be an exclusive number. They have like rarity to them. There'll be animation, and you get that for free as a backer. And you can sell it on the open market or whatever you want. So it's another something special for taking the ride.
So you can get a Kill Journal NFT for free if you can solve the clues, put your best Scooby-Doo hat on, and then you can flip it so you could actually flip that NFT so you can purchase more indie comics.
That's right. You might even be able to, you could be able to get yourself out at net zero on this.
Yeah, nice.
And then there's the patch, which is rad because we're rebels here, as I think we all know. If you're all watching the stream, you're a rebel. And then that's the t-shirt. I love that cover so much. I wanted to wear it. I usually stay away from more square images. But this one, I tried to do the full face, and it just didn't read right. It needed that edge line.
Yeah.
And so I tried to rough it, make it as organic as I could. But just like it's the shirt that tells the world what you are. You're a survivor. We're no victims here, and I love that feeling.
It's just a great looking shirt too.
Yeah, and I always do mine these Bella canvas, like high end, high thread count cotton, so they're not like a big stiff, yucky shirt you sometimes get at cons. It's the higher quality that hangs. It has a private label in it that says Gifted Rebels. It doesn't still have the manufacturer on it. It's a real, it's a true high quality shirt. So you can rep your tribe.
It's official merch.
It's official merch.
It doesn't say
that was in your best DJ voice. That was in your best DJ voice.
It's official merch.
Yeah. So that's kind of the whole scope of what this campaign is. I guess maybe the last note I should put in here is there's going to be an 8-page story, a preview story. Instead of you having to buy an ash can, I'm just putting it in here for Jawbone Death. It's the next story I'm doing with the original artist, Jason Krieger.
Cool.
And it's about a biker who is an aged biker who has a religious awakening and then turns on his gang and winds up being the avatar of this ancient warrior who's given the jawbone of the ancient biblical monster, the Leviathan, to go and stop this evil horde of monsters that is invading. So it's very heavy metal, very Lobo, very fun, and there's going to be an 8-pager at the back of that there as well. So it's just pretty high. You're getting a real special something on this one.
Yeah, the extra bone. You're getting the extra bone.
That's right. I think you said it best. You're getting the extra one.
It's a nice bonus at the end of a shiny, pretty looking slick double cover wraparound, and you finish reading the Finch piece, and then you can go right into Jawbone.
That's right. That's right. You get a little taste of Jawbone. Anyways, I love it. I love those kinds of things. I love little preview stories at the end of books myself. I tried to do all the things that I love myself, so I can at least say, hey, I'm giving you the things that I know I love. That doesn't mean everybody likes them too, but all the things I know I love. So,
and you're doing indie comics, so you have to make it for first and foremost something that you would want to read. so you can
Yeah,
pass
that's
on
exactly right. Right.
pass that on to the collectors and readers. Oh yeah, I see a little sneak of the Lobo-esque boot and chains on Jawbone.
Yes. Yeah, you get that. You get it. Yeah.
I'm sure Phil and Brandon will love that because the Lobo fan club starts with the Zaid brothers, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that that's something we definitely share in common. That is for sure.
So this whole project looks great. Of course, the Finch is the trophy in the case here because it's shiny.
Yeah.
Because who doesn't
That's
like a shiny
right. You
comic?
get it.
Who
Yes.
doesn't like a shiny comic? You get a bonus if you don't already have the original graphic novel. You can pick it up for $10 off, only $15, and you get the Jawbone special thrown in at the end of the book.
That's right. You get the Jawbone special.
Now, I wouldn't want a wrestler to give me the Jawbone special, but this whole book looks pretty awesome. I've been buying and collecting like horror stuff for years, and this has the look.
Yeah, right. It has that feel. You get it. You know what it is.
Yeah, it's got that special look that the book's going to deliver.
Yeah, you get it. That's at least I would say so. I really put my heart into all my books. I make sure they're high quality. They're awesome. They look good. They read well. They're grammatically proofed. They're dealing with the highest quality artists and colorists who give a real comic that you could get anywhere on any shelf. It could stand next to any competitor out there. So
oh yeah, it's got that the blood splatter is pretty darn good.
Well, maybe a fun thing to go out on here, my friend, is to watch this little 1-minute video. It's the trailer for the old graphic novel, just to give people a sense of what the world is and the look of that. If you want to give that a play,
let's check this out.
There's a war going on, and I've seen the enemy. Revenants is what they call them. Vengeful souls back from the dead and hungry for blood. I can't fight the war alone. I need soldiers. Those who face the evil that lurks in the shadows. Those who've lost someone. Those with nothing left to lose. I can take their broken lives and reshape them. I can make them into something violent and holy. I can give them revenge, but I cannot give them peace. Only God can do that, and He stopped listening to me long ago. There's a moment that comes when they know whether they're a victim or a survivor. There's a war going on. Which one will you be?
Nice.
yes,
That looks awesome. I know you're tied up with production stuff, so I didn't want to keep you too long. I just wanted to get to the heart of the matter and get it out there. This will be downloaded tonight and up on my podcast page, as well as it'll be on Minds, Odyssey, Rumble, and right now we're currently live on my YouTube and Twitter. So
yeah, I love it.
We'll get the word out there. This looks awesome. I'm definitely going to pay my bills at the first of the month and grab me this, because this looks pretty cool.
Yeah, I would like to think so. I think it's worth collecting. It's worth diving in on. But I always let I don't like to pressure anybody into it. It's like, I made something cool. I think it's cool. Do you think it's cool? But you won't regret it if you take the plunge. That's for sure.
Well, I want to thank you for making the time. I know we've been trying to do something on the stream for like the time, but our schedules always seem to conflict somehow.
Yeah, I know. It's the life of a new dad and trying to make commercials and the whole thing all at the same time. So
It's pretty hectic.
you get it. Yep.
Yes, sir. Thank
All
you
right,
so
my
much for
friend.
coming on. We wish you the best of luck, and we'll talk to you soon. Everybody go check out this book. The link is in the description down below, and we'll see you a little later on with another episode.
Boom.